Hi, I'm Lucia, and I will be doing my Teach One covering indices and likelihood ratios. So before we start, we will have to download the data and create a folder and know its location on our computer. We will then go ahead and unzip the files, and then using absolute path or relative path to specify the location of each CSV file in a different directory. So it's important to note that the relative path is a relative to the location of the Python script. So you may need to adjust the relative path depending on the location of your script and the CSV files. So the first step is to import the individual files, which we will do so using Python, using import pandas as PD. So my first CSV file we will call df1, and this is the code in line 2 that we will use to locate the file, which I chose to put it on my desktop in the folder located HAP464TI, and the file already came with the name dxh_1, so I will use the name df1 to reference that first file. In line 3, you can see that it's the exact same code, except the file is called dxh_2, which is why I use df2 to reference that file, and the same for file 3 and 4. So the next step will be to combine all the files together. So in the previous slide, we showed that we had 4 individual files, which we'll now need to combine into one file. So for line 6, we will use pd.concat, and based on the files previously assigned, which we decided to do df1, df2, df3, and dm4, we will include the file names inside the brackets to reference those files, which will now be combined in line 7. So in addition to combining them, we will also have to assign it a new file name and the location where we want this file to be included, which I just picked the same previous folder that I had done in the previous file to make sure all my files are together. So if you see, the location is similar to the previous slide, except that the file I now chose to call combine_file. So our next step is to remove rows. So based on the problem that we were given, the first part of the question asked us to remove the rows with a negative h. So in order to remove the rows with a negative h, will be based on having a negative value in the column called h at dx, which is what we see in quotes inside the brackets, which we use to include the file name. So in step 4, the second part of the question asked that we remove all duplicate values, which we will do using the drop method in pandas to delete. So in line 10, we can see that we use the df function .drop_duplicates, and again inside the brackets with quotes, we will specify the name of the columns where these duplicates occur. In step 5, we will then filter the data frame back to a new CSV file. So now that we've done the previous steps and removed the rows that we didn't want, the resulting data will be a filtered data to a new CSV file. So like we've previously been doing, in quotes, we place the location of the folder where we'd like our new file to be located, and this time I chose to call the file filtered_combined_file.csv. to clarify that this is the new final filter file. And as a last step, we will now print the number of records remaining. So in the last line, we will use the function print to count the length of the remaining rows, which it resulted to finding 1506718 rows. And that's my presentation.